Today we're going to be looking at the problem of how to use the finance calculator in the TI Nspire with respect to a college loan. Now this is a fictionalized example, but trying to use realistic numbers here. So say you take out a loan, right? It is a 10-year loan where you'll make monthly payments over the 10 years. You've taken out a loan of $50,000 and the loan rate you have is 6.53%. Okay, so my question is, how much each month will I have to pay over the 10 years to pay off this loan? So we're going to start here by thinking about how many monthly payments we're going to have to make, right? So how many monthly payments will we make? Monthly payments, right? So we're going to come up with that, right, by saying, well, if the number of monthly payments is 12, right, we make 12 per year, and we're doing this for 10 years, right, that's 12 multiplied by 10, or 120 months that we're going to have this loan. So that's the first thing we need to understand here, okay, is we're going to have 120 payments that we have to make, right, to try to pay back this $50,000. Now here, we're going to look, and the rate that we have is 6.53%. Now that rate is a yearly rate. So we do know that every month, right, we're not going to be charged the whole 6.53%. We're just going to be charged a little bit of that rate. Right? And so knowing all this information, now we can go to use our calculator. So when we go to our calculator here, this is using the TI Nspire CX-II, right? We can go to a new document. I'm going to work in the documents, and I'm going to go to a calculator page. On that calculator page, remember, anything that we want to do, the best place to go look for it is menu. And there's a whole finance feature here in number 8. Number 8 is finance. So if we click on that, there's a financial solver feature, right? Finance solver. So if you click on 8 and then number 1, finance solver, it brings up this window, okay? This window has all the information that we just know from that previous sheet there of what we're going to need to do. Okay, let's just quickly go through and look at the different parts of this. So N is going to represent the number of payments. Okay, I will be your interest rate. PV is the present value of the loan. So how much do you owe at this moment? Or how much money do you owe, whatever it is at that moment, right? Your payment will be the monthly payment or whatever payment period you've chosen. FV will be the future value. PPY will be your payments per year. CPY will be the compounding periods per year. So how many times do they charge you interest? And then are we setting the payment at the beginning or the end of the month, right? So if we go through for our example, right, N is going to be the number of periods, right? So if I look here, the number of periods or number of payments that we have is going to be that 120 months, right? Because we are making one payment a month for 10 years, so 120 payments. Okay, the calculator is expecting the interest rate to be in percent. So we said our interest rate was 6.53. Okay. The present value of our loan is going to be how much we owe at this point, right? So we owe $50,000. So we're going to put $50,000 there. Okay. So we're trying to pay off that. We're going to leave payment blank for the moment. We're going to leave future value at 0, right? Because what we are hoping is at the end of our 120 months, we owe $0 on our loan. We've paid it completely off. And then we're going to look at payments per year, right? So we are making 12 payments a year. So we're going to type in 12 there. That is allowing that interest rate to be divided by 12, so it's not charging us the whole rate every month, right? So we have that. And then our compounding period saying they are going to charge us some form of interest every month. So you'll leave that at 12 too. It's going to match our payments per month, per year. Okay, we're going to pay at the end of the month, right? So we are paying, it's due there. Okay, so now you can see we have 120 as our number of payments, 6.53 as our interest rate. Our present value there is the loan amount that we're starting with, okay? And we want our future value to be 0. So now if we go down, the best way to navigate through this window is using the tab button, right? The tab button skips and doesn't engage any of the arrow features here, so it just skips from box to box. And when I'm at payment here, now if I go down and I hit enter, it's going to tell me the payment I'm owed every month, right? So right here, I will have to pay on a $50,000 loan over 10 years at a 6.53% interest rate. I'll have to pay $568.50. So if we just take that, that would be our monthly payment, right? So going back to our spreadsheet, we said, how much is my monthly payment? We just said, we saw it here at $568.50. $568.50. There's our monthly payment. Now, how much would you pay over the course of the loan? Would you pay over 10 years? Okay, so how much would I pay over 10 years? Well, what we would see there is that amount over 10 years would be our monthly payment times multiplied by that 120 that we had. So we would take our rate, or our monthly payment, multiply by 120 months, you hit enter, and you can see there we would end up spending $68,000 to pay back our $50,000 loan. So you can see that there, right there, there's our final total amount, there's our monthly payment. So hopefully this helps just introduce the finance feature of the TI Nspire and how I can use it to make monthly payments and then use that to then try to figure out how much you would pay over a full loan. This can be used for, say this was for a car loan or for a college loan or for a house payment. You can use that for all those type of payments. You can also use this as a form of trying to figure out how much investments would make, right? Say if you start with zero and you're looking to make $1 million and you want to add $100 a month, like how long would that take? You can solve for the different elements in that finance feature by just filling in certain ones and then hitting enter on the one that you are looking for. So I hope this helps as an introduction, and good luck in any type of problem that you're looking at.